ちょっと待って、we're not on the regular talking screen today. I study everyone. Welcome. Today I will be your museum tour guide, except I'm not. I am outsourcing. I am outsourcing. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I'm not too good at studying all the history facts and stuff. Ooh, oh yes, this ship, it's made out of boat. No questions. Anyway, moving on to the next exhibit over here, we have that. Don't touch it. It's probably pretty old. Don't do it. Yeah. So, since our tour is not supposed to go like that today, I'm outsourcing today, to, to, one of the kind of people actually working at the museum, but it's gonna be a fun tour for all of us. That being said, if you have a question you wanna ask during the tour, just put it in the chat and Ivy will ask it for you. I'll go, hello, excuse me, is it true that this ship is made out of boat? Is it true that this ship is made out of boat? Yeah, so if you have a question during the tour, just write in the chat and I will ask. That being said, this is a tour of the USS Hornet Museum. Now how did you ask yourself, how did you get on the USS Hornet ID? Well, they're doing a convention. They're doing a convention. They're doing a convention in March, and Ivy is one of the attendees. Yeah. I'm going to Carrier Con, which is on the USS Hornet. So, we will be looking at the ship before we go there. Yeah. Find out all the best places to walk the plank or something like that. I don't know much about ships. Alright, let me just let me just tell the people I'm almost ready and yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Nah, I hope you guys, are we allowed to make organ transfers overseas? Am I supposed to ask that? Oh, Nate, also, oh my gosh, we got the Reefly people here. Thank you so much for coming by. I'm so excited to see the ship. I wrenched you guys. In case you saw. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I already got one question on Twitter, which I'm definitely going to ask. I know, so that's gonna be fun. Yeah. Alright. Oh my gosh, I do believe it is about, can VTubers swim in case of ship wreckage? I can swim. How long and how good, that's a different question, but I can swim. Anyway, that being said, lifeboats are women and children and VTubers who are somewhere between both, first. Nah. Alright, let me... Hello there, are we all ready to go?
Oh, wow, I'm live. Okay. Hi, Miss Irie, how are you doing today?
Hi there.
Hi, everyone at home. I'm Gabriel Cherry. I'm the marketing manager here at USS Hornet Sea, Air, and Space Museum, and I'm here to do a nice little abbreviated tour of the USS Hornet with you today.
Oh my gosh, it's Jeff Gabe. So famous.
You didn't have to. You know what? You call me Jeff Gabe. I'm done. Bye, guys.
Alright, tour over. Cut the camera.
Bye. I'm never coming back.
Oh, okay. Idiot's doing the tour now. Over there, boat. Over there, boat.
Because I was watching some of your chat before you got started, and you said, "What is ship made out of?" You said it was made out of boat, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're wrong. It's made out of cheese, very refined and old cheese, kind of stinky.
Oh.
kind of like that.
Doesn't that let water through? Isn't that boat gonna sink?
Okay, then that's the same logic of why SpongeBob doesn't sink, or what, you know what I mean? So so he's like an underwater cheese when you look at it. When you look at it a certain way.
I mean, but he
From a
does
certain
sink.
point of view.
He's at the bottom of the ocean. He's like all the way down there.
No, he's like, he doesn't sink. He's swimming down. There's a difference, Miss Ivy. There's a difference. It's called sinking's against your will. He chooses to be at the bottom.
Oh my
at
gosh.
the bikini bottom.
You know, I already got a question. I already got a question that I thought was pretty interesting because I was like, where does that come from? Does it have any merit? You know, as soon as I posted about the stream on Twitter and I posted like which boat this was, someone instantly went, "Oh, isn't that the one that's super haunted?" Do you know anything about that?
I do know something about that. So the USS Hornet is actually one of the most haunted places in America. One of the things we do here aboard the ship is that we actually have paranormal investigation tours. Matter of fact, we've had another convention here called Paracon, from my understanding, and we actually have investigators come here and investigate. I actually have my own ghost story, but I'll wait till a little later to tell you when we're below deck. A little experience I had when I first came on board here on the ship. So,
Wow.
a little spooky. Okay, but we're ready to get started. Well, I'm going to start out here. Where are we at right now? Mr. Cameraman, you can pan around, give them a nice panoramic view. Panoramic. We are on the hangar deck of the USS Hornet. Now, what is the hangar deck? Miss Irie, what do you think the hangar deck's used for?
The hangar deck is where the planes are stored, for yes, plane purposes.
Plain purposes. That sounds pretty. That's a pretty plain answer. I don't know about you.
Plain answer.
It's pretty plain answer. Could have been a little bit more creative. That's pretty plain of you, bro. So you're partially right. So the hangar deck did store aircraft in some cases. Matter of fact, an interesting tidbit here is you can look up here in the rafters. See those hooks up there? See these hooks? That actually would be used to store aircraft during World War II. They can hang aircraft from the top. But in the modern Navy and in World War II, if they could help it, aircraft were never to be stored in the hangar deck. They were to be stored on the flight deck. If you look at any historical footages of aircraft carriers, or even today, and this is global worldwide, some carriers don't do it, some countries don't, but American carrier doctrine says aircraft need to be stored on the flight deck. Why? So you can maximize your air complement. So if you go online right now, search up World War II aircraft carriers, you will see most aircraft are stored on the flight deck, which is up top. And we'll go there a little later. But this is where aircraft were maintained, where they were repaired, and where they would mobilize them to get them up to the flight deck once we start air operations. But the USS Hornet could carry about a little over 100 aircraft in this entire space. Well, more during World War II, but as time went on, we started getting into the jet age. And what happened during the jet age, Miss Irie? Aircraft got bigger, they got faster, they got heavier, and they took more space. So we could not facilitate that. But that's why the Navy made bigger carriers, such as the USS Midway, which is the class beforehand. Well, I just said a carrier class, and there's a little important history we'll get into. So we're going to start walking down here. So I said aircraft carrier class. Well, what is an aircraft carrier class? Just take a wild guess, Miss Irie, or chat. What's an aircraft carrier class?
What's an aircraft carrier class? Well, I'd assume, if it's like a lower class, it's like a smaller one. If it's like a bigger class, it's like a bigger and newer one.
So that's, you're getting a little warm there. So it's like a category, right?
Okay.
So it's
water displacement class. Water displacement class.
No, not water displacement class. So I want you to imagine this. So when you go to school, I want you to think about this. When you go to class, you're with multiple people in your same class, right? You have one teacher, you have one classroom, right? Same thing with aircraft carriers. When there's a class, they are all the same type of aircraft carrier. For example, this is an Essex class aircraft carrier, meaning that it is the same design for almost the other 24 aircraft carriers that were built. There were 42 Essex class carriers planned, but only 24 or so were built. So the Essex class, if you go to some other museum ships around the country, such as our sister ships, a sister ship is a ship that is of the same class. So USS Hornet has several other sister ships that are still around today: USS Lexington, USS Yorktown, and USS Intrepid in New York, South Carolina, and in Corpus Christi, Texas, respectively.
Oh.
And if you go to any of those museums, this entire area, if you look at the skeleton, is all the same because they're of the same class.
Wow.
But the thing is, with USS Hornet, we have a little bit of a unique aspect to it.
Oh.
Hornet is not the first ever aircraft carrier to have the name. Let's say, here's a little trivia. Miss Ari, how many USS Hornets do you think there were?
At least 2.
At least 2? Final
Yeah.
answer? Final answer. Just for $1
Yeah.
million, are you sure?
For $1 million? All right. Okay. 4. Final answer, 4. 4. I'm locking in 4.
And time is up. So, Miss Ari, you said 4, correct?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Miss Ari. You do not win the $1 million jackpot. Fortunately, there are actually 8 USS Hornets throughout the history of the United States Navy, going back to the Revolutionary War in 1775.
Oh my
For example,
gosh.
Hornet was a commercial sailing vessel during the time that was converted for the Continental Army and Navy. But you have the USS Hornet, USS Hornet 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When you get to 6, though, you start entering the Metal Navy. When you get into the Steel Navy, here, you get Hornet CV-8, which is the aircraft carrier that preceded the USS Hornet CV-12. We are currently aboard USS Hornet CV-12 and the different iterations of her. But this aircraft carrier is actually the USS Yorktown class aircraft carrier. So we talked about different classes, right, Miss Ari? So the Yorktown class was the class and design that preceded the Essex class. So it's kind of the big sister of the Essex class in a way. So so you probably are wondering, wait, there was a USS Hornet before. What happened to that USS Hornet? Well, in 1942, in the Battle of Santa Cruz, the original USS Hornet CV-8, the aircraft carrier, was sunk by the Japanese during World War II. As a memorial to the fallen vessel, and this is usually tradition in the Navy during the time, the United States Navy took this vessel and renamed it to be USS Hornet. Now, a little fun fact: this ship was not built from the ground up to be named USS Hornet. Who can guess, chat or Miss Ari? Who can guess what the ship was supposed to be named?
All right, I've guessed wrong so far. So, chat, give me your best guess. What is it named?
Right now, Miss Alpha Beta has 2 points out of everybody.
Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I wanted to say before, if all the ships that are in the same class are called sister ships, then I guess the ships must have been getting homeschooled, huh?
Pretty much, a few of them were homeschooled, so they were definitely interesting. I'm not gonna say anything. I wasn't homeschooling them. Some of the ships went to public school and they got bullied, but it's okay. But no, we don't like that.
All right. Someone said Yorktown.
So Yorktown, no, the ship was not supposed to be named Yorktown. There is another Essex class aircraft carrier that's named Yorktown. So I'll go ahead and tell you, this ship was actually supposed to be named USS Kearsarge. Matter of fact, down in the boiler room, there's a plate that says Kearsarge that's welded into the ship. Can't get rid of it. So that's always a reminder that this ship originally had a different name. But when Hornet 8 CV-8 was sunk, they went ahead and renamed it in honor of the fallen vessel. So that's a little history for you about Hornet CV-12.
Ah, it's the middle name.
Exactly. Now, Miss Ari, let's take a look over here. What do you think that is? Wild guess.
That looks like a bomb.
It's a bomb. Yeah, it's a bomb, all right, but it's a certain special kind of bomb.
It's a missile.
It's a missile, but it's a certain kind of missile. Makes a
Um,
very, very big boom.
it's a torpedo.
Now, it's not a torpedo. You were right about bomb and missile, but this makes a huge boom.
Huge boom. Well, it's explosive missile then. If it boom.
It's an explosive, but I'm saying it makes a very, very, very big. Oh, but here, let me use my TikTok language. It uses the boom. That's what they do. They hit the boom. It's what they do.
It's not a nuke, right? It's not a nuke, right?
It's a nuke. So,
oh my god.
During the Cold War in the 1960s and 70s, it was theorized that maybe the USS Hornet might have weapons of mass destruction of nuclear caliber. This is an example of a nuclear warhead that was held aboard.
Oh.
I should touch it.
Oh my gosh. It's radioactive, isn't it?
Am I going to turn into the Hulk if I touch it, you think?
More like maybe grow like a third arm is what I was thinking.
No, not really. But this is a weapon of mass destruction to be used but they did not want to ever use this because of a concept called MAD, mutually assured destruction. So you never saw this being launched from the ship, but it was there in case of those situations. So you probably have some questions that we're on an aircraft carrier, right? So what does an aircraft carrier do, Miss Iris?
It carries ship to the ocean so they can start from the ocean and land on the ocean.
It carries the aircraft, the little baby aircraft, carries them like a good mother. But we're going to start getting into some of the aircraft. So what is this aircraft? Well, this is the FM2 Wildcat. Now, this is a training variant of the Wildcat, which was famous for being in the early part of the war. But there's a little fun story about this specific aircraft, this specific one. So when we act as a museum, when we gain aircraft, they come from all over the place. They are in different conditions, and we restore them here on the ship. We have a great volunteer corps that helps to restore all of these aircraft here in-house, and we'll actually go take a look at our latest restoration project a little later. But where do you think we found this aircraft?
Let's say somewhere crazy like in Japan or in Germany.
No, not in Japan or in Germany. We found it here in the good old US of A. But we found it somewhere you would not think.
Area 51.
Miss Irie, when everybody ran to Area 51 in 2019, I'm pretty sure we didn't find that, but we did find an alien named Paul. We didn't find that, though. We found this at the bottom of a lake.
Ah, well, that's not too strange, is it?
But which lake? Was it in Germany or Japan or wherever the war was fought?
You said it was in the US of A.
It's in the US of A. It was found in the bottom of Lake Michigan. Well, why was it found in the bottom of Lake Michigan? Well, I'll tell you this, Miss Irie. It's because Navy pilots, they can't just go out to sea and instantly fly a plane and land on an aircraft carrier. Landing on an aircraft carrier is one of the most difficult things for a pilot to do. I know if there's some Air Force people here, I'm sorry, but it's true. Any naval aviator will tell you. But landing on an aircraft carrier requires precision and skill and months, maybe even years of training to perfect. So during World War II, they were training pilots to land on aircraft carriers. For example, USS Wolverine was an example of a training aircraft carrier that was used in the Great Lakes. They trained pilots to land on carriers before they went out to the big ocean, because if you're out in the Pacific, you crash an aircraft, it's not going to be the best situation for you. So the FM2 Wildcat, this aircraft, was found at the bottom of Lake Michigan because a pilot possibly ejected. Something went wrong, or they made a mistake. They found it there, and it was in horrible condition. However, this is all, and you see how nice and pretty she is. Well, they brought her to the Hornet. They restored her here, and she's part of our collection now.
Wow, impressive.
Okay, well, any questions I can answer right now? Well, we've already covered a little bit here, so I'll take a break to answer some questions.
Let me look through. Mostly just people guessing on on where the ship landed. Someone said the White House.
The White House. Hey, listen here. Listen here, Miss Ari. I'm President Obama, and I'm going to tell you, we did not find this aircraft there. I'll tell you this: healthcare. We had healthcare right there. I'll tell you that right now. You are a great American, but you're not really American as far as I understand. But you are a great American.
No, I'm not American. I'm German, actually.
Well, you are a great German. Barack Obama says so. Just letting you know that right now. Healthcare.
People are really interested in the ghosts. Already asking, are the ghosts more from the ship itself or more from the crew? What flavor ghosts?
So they're from the ship's crew. So a lot of the haunted spirits that linger here in the Hornet still are here. Something that keeps them attached to this world.
Interesting. Also, someone's asking, can there ever be a new USS Hornet if your museum gets sunk? Will there be a new one?
I hope the museum does not get sunk, whoever asked that question. But we don't know because the Navy tends to name their aircraft carriers now after presidents or famous people of note. For example, one of the newest aircraft carriers that are coming out is USS Doris Miller. Who is Doris Miller? Doris Miller is one of the most notable African Americans to serve in the U.S. Navy. As a matter of fact, he earned a Navy Cross during World War II because he single-handedly shot down several Japanese aircraft during Pearl Harbor, saving his crew. Now, you're probably wondering this about Doris Miller. Well, he was a sailor. What's so remarkable? Well, during that time, the Navy was segregated, and the only jobs that African Americans could have at the time were cooks or other service positions. So he was a cook, but he, in the heat of battle, got up, saved multiple lives, and defended his fellow countrymen in the face of insurmountable odds. So Doris Miller is being honored as one of the newest aircraft carriers, I believe CVN 81.
Wow, just as a cook, that's very impressive.
Doris Miller is a personal hero of mine. So we actually have a great exhibit here at the USS Hornet honoring many African Americans in the military and their rich and extensive history.
I see. Also, someone's asking, did the Hornet have a brig to store rowdy crew or prisoners? Well, I don't know what kind of prisoners they'd have in an aircraft carrier.
Oh, we did. We had a great brig. Matter of fact, little part of how you end up in the brig. Well, they have this thing called Captain's Mast. Now, what is Captain's Mast? Well, in the sailing Navy, they would tie you to the mast of the ship in a pole, and then you would be in trouble. But if a sailor was guilty of misconduct, they would go have a nice talk with the captain, basically getting called to the principal's office. And they would sit there, and the captain would say, well, sailor, we're in port for X amount of time, and let's say we're in somewhere fancy. So we're in Hawaii, right? Everyone wants to go to Hawaii. Well, you were guilty. You missed the watch, or you messed up on here, or you didn't clean your area. So guess what? You get to stay on the ship, and you just had a 12-month deployment sea. So you don't even get to touch dry land. And you might end up in the brig. So that's how you end up there. Multiple other reasons. That's just an example.
I see. Well, behave. Don't sink the ship, or well, if the ship is sunk, well, there's no brig. But I made my
behavior,
point.
Okay? Hey, good behavior. We like that. So continuing on here. Now, you notice how large this aircraft is, right? Well, let's look over here. This is Miss June. Everybody say hi, Miss June.
Hi, Miss June.
We love Miss June. Matter of fact, I'm gonna let you know a little secret because I already told Spica and Alpha Beta. She's actually gonna become a VTuber.
Oh my gosh! Hello, pre-debut,
you're seeing her
Miss
pre-debut
June.
right now. We haven't gotten the L2D done yet, but we're gonna get her there. We're gonna do it.
Oh my gosh!
So, Miss June, and yes, she is a hag VTuber. Anyways, Miss June though is a TVM torpedo bomber. Now, what is a torpedo bomber? Well, torpedo bombers were heavily used during World War II to ideally sink battleships. They have an underwater warhead, which is the torpedo, that would be launched at a certain speed to arm itself and slam into the side of a ship. Now, it took precision, it took guts. Now, imagine your torpedo bombers had to fly low and slow to the water. So imagine my arms, the water here. There's the torpedo bomber. They had to fly low and slow at a certain speed so that way they could drop the torpedo and it would arm. If you went too fast, could prematurely explode. If you went too slow, it's not going to arm. Or better yet, anti-aircraft fire is going to shred your plane. So these things had to be built tough. Now, the T-Man torpedo bomber is one of the toughest aircraft of World War II. It was basically a flying tank.
Oh.
Had a crew of about three, 4 people. And they would attack in squadrons and coordinate assaults on aircraft. Well, sorry, no, on ships. And if we're going to talk about the history of sinking ships, well, take a look at over here. This is Hornet's World War II status, not status, stats. So as you see here, that's how many all the planes it shot down. It's different actions during World War II, but also some of the ships it destroyed. For example, you probably see right there. It's famous for destroying, its air complement and torpedo bombers were famous for destroying the legendary Japanese battleship Yamato.
Oh.
There were multiple aircraft from other squadrons and other carriers. However, Hornet had probably the most torpedo bomb hits.
Wow.
So that's just a little preview of that. But you notice, though, and I'll tell you this, how big Miss June is here. Now, for reference, Miss Irie, I'm 6'5".
Oh.
Forgive me, I cannot convert it. I can't convert it. I'm sorry, I'm a dumb American. But I'm 6'5".
Uh-huh.
That's a pretty big plane.
Wow, that looks like 2 of you, so maybe 12 foot. 12 foot.
Oh, not even 12 foot. Yeah, matter of fact, I'm 6'5". My brother is 7'1", so he's up here. So that is easy, like 14 feet.
Wow.
Just about.
Oh my gosh.
So let's go over here then. Are there any questions though? We're moving out of propeller aircraft. Oh, actually, let's talk about this. How are aircraft brought to the flight deck, Miss Irie? Take a wild guess.
Well, they fly him on there, I'd guess.
Well, they fly them, they land in the aircraft, but they take them down to the hangar deck too. But how do we get them up to the flight deck, you wonder?
Oh, elevator. Plane elevator.
You're exactly right. An elevator.
Let's go, 1 point for me, let's go!
Hey, 1 point. Hey, we got to get 2 more. You got to beat Miss Alpha Beta. Need 2 more.
Okay.
2 more.
Okay.
Okay. So, this is elevator 1. Now, look how massive this is.
Ooh.
This we still use it today. Matter of fact, all of our elevators work. We're one of the only XX class aircraft carriers in the United States Museum, well, of the different museums that have working elevators. And that's thanks to our restoration volunteers. But you see right here, we put massive aircraft on here, moving to the flight deck. Matter of fact, if any of you have seen Top Gun, we know with Tom Cruise, everyone loves Tom Cruise. We have an F-14 Tomcat that we actually use to move up and down with this elevator. It's capable of moving that heavy of an aircraft. But during flight operations, these elevators will be firing off, bringing aircraft from down below up to the top to be ready to go into flight operations. And there's 3 of them. And I'll show you the different areas where they're at as we go throughout the tour. But there are multiple. This is towards the front of the ship.
Oh, very cool. Someone's asking what's the lifting capacity of the elevator?
I would say, I'm trying to remember. It's a little different than it was in World War II because obviously it's an older elevator system, especially when they retrofit it, and it has been restored. But I would say about several hundred tons.
Ooh. Oh my gosh.
Probably more, but we don't want to overload it as well because it is older, and we do have to be wary of that. That's something we do at the museum. We are wary about how much weight we are putting on there and how much stress it's taking.
Oh my gosh. You can fit at least 5 cars on that, I'm pretty sure. Oh, also someone's asking, how many VTubers did you show around so far?
How many? Kind of lost count. So I did a tour with Miss Lisa, Miss Chikafuji Lisa. I did a tour with Miss Mint, Miss Made Mint. I did a tour with Miss Kira Spica. I did a tour there. Trying to think who else off the top of my head. I think so. 5. I think I've done 5 in total now.
Oh.
Think about, but all of them have been different. I promise. I'm not making the skibbity jokes I made last tour with Miss Alpha Beta. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I thought you had like a script. Okay, now I pause and I make the Incredibles joke. This is where the Incredibles joke happens.
I wasn't even gonna make the incredible. You know what? I'm done. I'm done with this tour.
Yeah.
I'm just a funny, silly little character for you people. Dance monkey dance. So I'm not even gonna make that joke. Matter of fact, have you even seen The Incredibles, Miss Ari?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh gosh, man, I really want to make that joke now.
Your Edna impression was really good. She's my favorite character too.
Darling, I assume you have seen The Incredibles and you know about no capes, darling. No capes. You have the jet turbine. You get sucked in there with the cape, darling. We don't like that. We don't like that here, darling. We don't. Like, it's not fashionable. We don't like that. We don't like that. It's like I'm Edna mode. I'm right here. I'm right here, darling. I'm right here.
Say bye.
Are you happy now, Miss Irie?
Yes, I'm happy now. 5-star review.
Okay, she's satisfied. Well, guess what? I'm not doing it on the next tour. Okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm not this monkey that just press the play button and I do the same phrases. Okay, I'm a person. I have feelings. The inner workings of my mind are an enigma. Anyway, but what is this? This is a jet. This is a jet turbine. So if we look inside here, air is being sucked in. So that's why I'm making the joke about no capes, because if a piece of fabric or a person is pointing their head towards here, you're going to get sucked in.
Oh.
But what is this aircraft? Well, this is the FA Crusader. The FA Crusader is famous because it does not have guided missiles. It is known as the last gunfighter. Why a gunfighter? Well, because it had only guns. It was made to dogfight. It was made to shoot down aircraft, and it was a very flexible, maneuverable, and effective aircraft in doing so and intercepting targets. But it did not use guided missiles. Not that they didn't have the technology, they just didn't do it.
Scale shot plane.
Matter of fact, here's an example of an ejector seat.
Oh.
I'll try to sit in it, even though it looks here. This is my regular office chair.
Which button do you press to go up?
Well, if you were to eject, obviously you would press a button on your control panel that shoots the canopy off. So that would, because you don't want to bounce off and hit the canopy, you'll hurt your head. And then you would pull both of these forward and it would shoot you off like a rocket. And then obviously parachute comes down and you would parachute down below. But ideally, you don't want to lose an aircraft because they are several billion dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the FA Crusader, there's something unique about the FA Crusader. This aircraft was capable of changing its angle of incidence. Why? Because when it's landing, this was a really cool function about it. They wanted to design the aircraft to be able to have smoother landings. So rather than dip its nose up to catch a tail hook, which we'll talk about what a tail hook is in a minute, but rather than dip its nose up when it comes in for a landing, like, you see aircraft when they land, they dip their nose up and they're landing on their backs, right? This aircraft was capable of landing almost straight down. Why? Because these wings right here, this part of the body, and you'll see it, see this little crevice?
Oh.
This actually detaches from the main body.
Ah.
But why? But what was the logic behind that? Well, because if I had the aircraft right here in my hand, and I had the wings right here, okay, ready?
Oh.
And it's coming in here. If it's like a normal aircraft, it's kind of at an angle right here, trying to catch a tail hook. However, because the wings can move up separately from the body, it can stay straight and catch the wings here. More stable landing, and they can see. You see what I mean?
Wow.
And here's a picture of the FA Crusader when it's in the air. Notice how long it is.
That is one long plane. Very long. Very demure.
Very, very mindful. Very cute. Very, pretty alpha gamer, you know. And oh, sorry, I can't say Miss Alpha Beta's not here. Sorry.
Also, someone asked, is it true that you got an inch shorter after ejecting on the early seats?
Sorry, what was that?
Is it true that you got an inch shorter after ejecting on the early ejector seats?
Well, how would I know that? I've never ejected out of a plane, and I'm pretty gosh darn tall, so you know. No, so that's only if your head could hit the canopy, but when you hit the ejector sheet, it's shooting you up. But basically, it's like being on a roller coaster at like you've been to an amusement park when you go on, there's roller coasters and all the G forces. So you're shooting up with all that G forces. Could compress your spine down, but never's been proven that you become an inch shorter when you eject.
We have to research that. Someone write that down. You could write a paper.
Write that down. Write that down. Write that down. Don't play tic-tac-toe. Write it down. All right. So, what is this long pole? Well, when aircraft are underway in the air, they're able to do in-air replenishment and in-air refueling with giant tanker aircraft. There's a giant cone that these tanker aircraft can extend out, and they have to align this with the cone to be able to hook up and fuel when they're on extended missions, because aircraft only have a limited amount of fuel. They're not like jet airliners where they can go around the world on one tank of gas. These smaller aircraft, they're burning fuel because they're doing maneuvers and they're going extremely fast. So this is one example of what they can do, but this wasn't native to this aircraft all the time. So what is this aircraft? Well, this is actually one of my favorite aircraft. This is the A4 Skyhawk. We actually have a docent here at the USS Hornet Museum that is an A4 Skyhawk pilot. He flew about 400 combat missions and did 400 landings on aircraft carriers, so he's a certified badass. Mr. Alan Cartwright. We love Mr. Cartwright. But this is the training variant of the A4 Skyhawk. Doesn't have guns, doesn't have anything. It's used to train pilots to drop bombs and get familiar with this aircraft before they were shipped out to Vietnam. Now, one really cool part about the A4 that I love this aircraft, is that this aircraft is capable of increasing its own drag without hydraulics or any other systems. Now, what is drag, Miss Ari? Can you guess?
Okay. All right, this is my
looking at chat.
I'm not looking.
No cheating.
I'm not looking. Drag, I'd have to guess. I can't concentrate if you look at me like that.
Are you sure? Are you ready to play the game?
Okay, I'd guess.
What's that one meme where it's like,
oh, that's very accurate. Oh, my first guess would have been dressing up the aircraft with a wig and putting makeup on, but I guess it's not that kind of drag.
Oh, Miss Irie. Oh my.
I'd say like air resistance or air resistance.
Darling. Listen to me. Let me handle it. Let Edna more, not Auntie Edna handle it. But drag is the air resistance. It's what can slow an aircraft down. So, but you need surface area to have drag. When you take away surface area, so for example, if you take your hand, right, and everybody at home, you can do this, wave your hand left to right, or right to left, and put your arm out and say, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Anyways.
Macarena.
Macarena. I didn't finish it, but I will later. But you wave your hand, you notice that the air is pressing against your hand, right? You can feel the breeze. You have drag. But I want you to do this. Take your hand and do that.
Less drag, more
aerodynamic. Feel less air, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Aerodynamics. That's what this is all about.
Oh.
So what are we doing here? Well, this part of the aircraft is down over the wings. So what's it creating?
Drag.
It's creating drag. But when this aircraft gets up in the air and after it launches off in the aircraft carrier deck, and it gets up in the air and gets up to speed, this naturally starts getting pushed back because of the air resistance. What's it like now?
No drag, very aerodynamic.
No, less drag, very aerodynamic, very cutesy, very demure of this aircraft. And see how it starts sliding down? Because it naturally does that. Now, this is the natural way how it reduces and increases its drag. The A4 Skyhawk is capable of, when it gets up to speed, creating a blade with its wings. It was a very fast and maneuverable aircraft. Matter of fact, this aircraft actually flew adversary in Top Gun. So when you see the movie and you see the training and when they're fighting against each other in Top Gun, this aircraft was used to be better than the aircraft that the pilots were training with, because it was to put them at a disadvantage. Now, or to have more maneuverable fighters to match that. So when they land, though, they need to be slower. They need to have more stability when they land. They're on a moving platform, remember, Miss Irie? So they have more drag and they're able to land with more stability. So look, the Navy's about safety. The Navy's about safety and going green. You want to know why they go green, Miss Irie?
They go green because cheaper.
Because they're Irie fans. What
Should've known it. I should've known it.
What, the entire U.S. Navy has the light sticks and they do the dance thing. I don't have the light sticks with me, but I would if I could. But the A4 is one of my favorite aircraft. Now, I'm going to show you this. So you probably are wondering, we talked about aircraft taking off, right? Hundreds of miles, taking off a deck. But how do aircraft take off? You know, what's another process they take off, but also how they land? Well, they have what's known as a tail hook. Every naval-based aircraft has a tail hook because it needs to land on an aircraft carrier. Now, why do they have a hook on them? Across the deck, on the back half of aircraft carriers, they have a long, thick bar that they run across. It's a wire. And this wire is sturdy enough to catch aircraft when they land. Because usually they would land on the aircraft carrier, they would run the bar, and they would drop a tail hook. And they would hook it. And they would stop. But the thing is, with those they're called arresting gear cables. The arresting gear cable, those cables were attached to two hydraulics on each side of the ship. And still used to this day, that it would catch the aircraft. And because of the calculations they would put into the hydraulics, they would account for the tension that was needed and the little bit of give they would have to give. Because what would happen if you had the tail hook and this was rock solid? Bing. Tail hook breaks off, right?
Oh.
But what happens if it's there and it catches the bar and it gives like a rubber band? You know, when you have a rubber band, you move back and forth, right? You take out the slack a little bit, you know? So it is physics. Objects in motion want to stay in motion, but unless you have kinetic force to stop said aircraft and help bring it back, you won't be able to stop it. But let me ask you this question, Miss Irie. When they catch that aircraft and the rubber band activates and they pull it back, what do you think the pilot's doing? Are they cutting power or are they going full power?
They're going full speed, fast as they can go.
You're exactly right. And I know you're
2
cheating.
points!
You probably asked one of the other talents before you got on here.
I did not. I just chose it because it seemed like the non-obvious option.
Okay, see? Okay, I'm sorry. Big brain.
Big brain.
big giga brain. Ooh, giga brain.
Ooh.
So they would go full power. The hydraulics would activate, start to pull, and start to compensate for the speed and weight of that aircraft, and they would be able to stop it safely. But what does the tail hook look like? Well, this is the tail hook. This would pop down here, and I can't drop it down here, so I can't show you. But this would pop down. They would catch the bar. So notice this little crevice right here. That's to catch that bar. So when they hit, it gives. So see my arms, like the rubber band, right? It gives, and then it pulls it back to try to stop it and bring it to a standstill. Got to take the kinetic force out of this equation. But also, when aircraft are taking off and they're on the flight deck, what's keeping them in place? Because same way we talked about when they land, they're giving full power when they are. They're giving full power when they are about to take off, when they're on a shuttle system to launch them on a catapult. But how are they held back? Well, this is a torsion bar. Torsion bar here is a small little bar, steel, and it's made with it's precisely made to hold back the A4 Skyhawk. This specific model of torsion bar. I can't pull it off right now, or can I?
Oh, don't break it.
Nope,
Don't break
not gonna
it.
do it. I'm not gonna do it. Well, there's other torsion bars that I could show you later, but it's no heavier than a little 1 or 2 pound barbell. Now, the torsion bar is strong enough to hold this aircraft back while it's going full power. This specific torsion bar, it's made for the A4 Skyhawk, right? There are other designs. Some are weaker, some are stronger. But when they hit the catapult and they activate the catapult to launch the aircraft, this breaks in half. See this little groove right here? This is where it gives. It's designed to give in this specific part. So, bing, pings off, takes off. It's a disposable. They take it, throw it in the water when they're done.
Oh.
So, and that's how and it's attached to a cable that's attached to the bottom of the deck called the holdback cable. So the torsion bar is here. Now the Navy has a different way of doing it now. It's a recyclable one because it's not very green. It's not very mindful of us to be throwing metal pipes into the water, right?
No,
I don't think Shamu really appreciates that. So we have the bars, and these bars are up front now, and they are torsion bars that connect, and they're recyclable, and they're modular for different aircraft. So I don't have an example of that, but you can go online and search up torsion bars. Matter of fact, we have a great video for anybody at home who wants to check it out on the USS Hornet page that talks about torsion bars and shows an example with our guy Joe Martinez. He does a really great example of that. Knows more than me. He was actually in the Navy. So,
sir, excuse me. One question,
Yes,
sir. How large is the USS Hornet?
How large is the USS Hornet? I can't get the exact stats off the top of my head, but we're about to link to several football fields.
Oh.
If we look down here, we're towards the front of the ship, right? That's pretty good. That's pretty gosh darn far.
Oh gosh, that looks like a warehouse. Oh my gosh, that's huge.
It's like Costco, you know. We got the $1.50 hot dogs. You know, we got the $1.50 hot dogs. You got the chicken bake. You got the double chunk chocolate cookie with the boom. Give me 5 big booms for that. Boom, 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 boom. 5 big booms.
Gosh.
Do they got Costco in Germany? Do they got Costco?
No, we don't have Costco, but I saw
Costco.
Nah, we don't have Costco.
What
We don't have
doing?
Walmart either. We don't have Walmart.
Listen to Ari's community. If you really love her, go buy a Costco membership and send her that card. Take her picture, put it on the thing, send her a Costco membership. She deserves it.
Thank you so much.
Get her a Costco. As a matter of fact, ship her in a nice container a Costco hot dog. Let her experience a $1.50 hot dog.
You're joking, but they'll actually do it.
I'm
You're
not
joking,
joking.
but they'll actually.
Matter of fact, some of the V-Fleet girls are watching. Go now, do. Go now, do. Go now, do. Get her a hot dog.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so what is this aircraft? Well, this is pretty large. What do you think it's used for, Miss Ari? Or anybody at home? What do you think this aircraft is?
Well, it doesn't look like a fighty one, because it's not very slim. It's a little bit thicker.
It's a little chunky. It's like a double chunk chocolate cookie.
Yeah, it's a little chunky. Is it maybe like recon surveillance?
Ooh, that's a great guess. So yes, actually.
3
this
points?
Aircraft is, you
Let's
did.
go!
Look, you know what, Miss Ari? You get 2 points.
Arigato.
You're doubled up. You've overtaken Miss Alpha Beta. Congrats. You're in the lead. You're on the leaderboard. Let's go. Hey, everyone give her a hand. Give Miss Ari a hand.
Yeah.
And if Miss Beta, if you're watching, that's not very skibbity of you, Miss Beta. I'm sorry. It's not very skibbity.
Oh my gosh, not very skibbity Rizzler Ohio got.
I know. Maybe if you weren't playing Grand Theft Auto all the time, Miss Alpha Beta, maybe you know your facts. Anyways, this is the S2 tracker. Now the S2 tracker, it was for surveillance and recon. However, it wasn't another aircraft. This was an anti-submarine warfare aircraft. It could actually drop sonar buoys. And what are buoys? They're little flotation devices, but they can also sink into the water. That would give sonar pings off and send information back to them and send information back to the aircraft carrier. They were used to locate submarines and destroy submarines. So they could locate them with the sonar buoys, but it was also capable of dropping depth charges. Now, what is a depth charge? Well, have you ever taken a soda can or a water bottle and gone in a pool or a body of water and taken it underwater?
No.
Okay, well, not everybody did sixth grade science projects. Anyway, have you ever gone swimming, Miss Irie? And have you been in the water and your ears start to kind of plug up?
Yeah, that I
Okay,
have.
so what is that, Miss Irie? Do you know what that is? That effect is?
That is ears filling up with water.
Filling up with water, but it's what? It doesn't feel good. It's what? It's
Pressure.
pressure, right? Pressure. And as you get deeper in water, what happens? It hurts more, right? Because the pressure is increasing. As you get deeper into water, thickness increases. So the pressure is greater. Humans, we're not designed to swim underwater at great pressures. Whales are, giant squids are. They can go down the trenches, but we can't. Matter of fact, that's why submarines. Okay, I'm not going to talk about a certain submarine right now that comes to mind, but we don't like to use Logitech controllers. Anyways, but submarines are able to go underwater and they're pressurized and they're able to handle that pressure. So when they're in the water, they are a pressurized capsule. So they're not crumpling up, because if you took a soda can, you took it deep down in the water, it would crumple up into nothing because of all the pressure. Now, what does a depth charge do? Now, it's an explosive. It makes a big boom underwater, right? Big boom. Take it underwater, and boom, it explodes. And it makes an air pocket. Now, here's the question, Miss Irie. Does the explosion have to touch, or does it have to be like in a direct hit on the submarine?
Well, I'm guessing no, because based on your description, it's like it changes the pressure and makes it bad.
One second, Miss Irie. I want to introduce you guys to something. I want you guys to meet Bruce.
Uh-huh.
He's Justin here on the USS Hornet, but actually he is an original Hornet crew member here of the ship. So Bruce, you can introduce yourself for everybody at home.
Well, I think you've done it. I'm Bruce. I'm a volunteer docent here on the Hornet. As Gabe said, I was on the Hornet. I was on board from late 1968 through decommissioning in 1970, and I was on board for picking up Apollos 11 and 12. And my pat line is, I'm having more fun now than I did back then.
Oh, we're having a great time, aren't we? Thanks, Bruce.
Oh gosh, we did it. We found the coolest person on the USS Hornet.
Bruce, we're doing a virtual tour with a streamer, a live streamer by the name of Miss Irie. And this is live right now. We're live on YouTube. So if you say hi to the folks at home, so we're doing, and just wanted to introduce you real quick. Because I respect you, Bruce. Is that okay? Is that okay? Is that okay? No, boy, I tell you, I get
friends and come back and see us.
Boy, I tell you, I get no respect at all around here, huh? I get no respect at all. Oh, boy, I tell you what.
Everyone likes you.
Not when I do the dumb impressions.
Everyone's saying hello to Bruce.
Hi, Bruce.
Hi, Bruce.
Yep, that's Bruce. That's Bruce. Everyone.
I'm back today.
Thanks, Bruce. Sorry for an introduction, Miss Irie. I just wanted you to meet Bruce. Really cool guy.
Oh, good.
Okay, so you were asking a question.
Yes. How many fighter jets do you have on the USS Hornet?
Fighter jet? So jets specifically, not propeller aircraft?
Yeah, jets.
So I can tell you right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5, and we will have 6 here in a moment, but I'm not going to talk about that just yet. Okay.
Oh.
It's a little bit of a secret, so I'm not gonna say it now. But there'll be something cool that's coming. Something cool that's coming here aboard the Hornets. So kind of finishing up here on the S2 tracker though, but the depth charge does not need to directly hit the submarine. It needs to be able to throw off its pressure. So when you throw off a pressurized capsule, it throws off its pressure, starts crumpling up, and it's effective in that way. So that's what a depth charge does. And this aircraft was capable of tracking submarines and launching depth charges to be able to sink them.
Yay, 3 points, 3 points.
See, there you go. See, big giga brain. But now before I move on to this aircraft, are there any questions?
Any questions? Well, I've been kind of asking them as we go. Let me check if there's anything I missed. Oh, okay. This is, would they lose the sonar buoy after use, or would they be able to recover them?
No, so they were disposable sonar buoys. So once they put it in the water, they were done.
Ah, I see. Also, someone's asking, how deep can a depth charge reach?
It really depends on what you set it for. I don't know the maximum depth, but I do know that there is a limit, and they are able to set the depth charges to have a specific limit, a specific depth that they would calculate into it that would be able to go off once they feel that certain amount of pressure.
Ah, I see. Okay. I believe that is currently all the questions, but I'm excited to learn about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Airplane over here.
Rudolph the red-nosed airplane had a very shiny nose, and if Ari saw him, said he had a skill issue, then one foggy Christmas Eve, Ari came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Anyways, yes, Miss Ari, this is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Aircraft. This is actually a cover for the so this is actually the intake. We saw an intake over there, so this is actually the jet intake right here. But this is the FJ2 Fury. The FJ2 Fury was one of the first mainline American jet aircraft to be used on aircraft carriers, because after World War II, started getting into the jet age, and this is one of the first aircraft. It looks similar to a Russian MiG of the time of the same era. However, it is not. So if you compare the two aircraft, they are distinctively different. Now, this aircraft was mainly used during the Korean War. It was a workhorse of the Korean War until they switched over to the Panther jet. But here's the fun part about this aircraft. The Navy didn't really like it, and they moved on to the Panther jet. But they had a bunch of them. So you know what the Navy does when they have things they don't really want? It's like, you've seen Toy Story, right?
Yeah.
Seen Toy Story 2?
They
when
dump
Andy
it.
has Woody, when
Yeah,
Andy
throws
has
them in
Woody,
the trash.
he's like, I don't want to play with you anymore. That's what the Navy does. So, well, rather than throw them away, they give it to another branch of the military. They give it to the Marines.
Oh.
Because whatever the Navy doesn't want, they give to the Marines. Sorry if you're a Marine watching right now, but you know it's true. So,
Gee. Also, while we walk, someone asked, who is the coolest person on the USS Hornet?
who is the coolest person? That's kind of a loaded question. So I'm going to say my boss.
That is a very safe answer.
Exactly. You try to get me right now, but you know what? I'm mogging right now. I'm mogging right now. I'm big brain.
I was sent the question by your boss specifically. Trying to. I'm undercover. I'm a Fed.
Is this the episode? Is this Undercover Boss?
I am your boss. It's true.
hey, ma'am. I'm sorry. I didn't know. How could I know? All right, but here we're gonna meet a movie star right now. Who is this? Well, this is the Sikorsky helicopter. This is the Sea King. Pretty big aircraft. Now this is one of the first helicopters we're going over right now. But this aircraft is interesting because it was used for recovering pilots if they ejected into the water in case of search and rescue. And in fact, the Sikorsky is still used by some fire departments today for search and rescue, especially in forest areas around the world. But the Sea King, this aircraft is a movie star. Why? Because it was actually featured in a movie. This specific aircraft. This was featured in the movie Apollo 13 with Tom Hanks, if you've seen it. It's an older movie, so if you haven't seen it, that's fine. But it was used in that specific movie. It's not the aircraft that recovered Apollo 13 astronauts, but this aircraft was used and monumental in a big part of Hornet's history, which was the recovery of Apollo 11, 12 astronauts.
Wow.
Which will lead into what I'll talk about now, which is the Hornet's history with NASA and the space race. Well, what do you know about the astronauts in this, Irie? What do you know?
Okay, space race, what I know is that the US and the Soviet Union were competing on who could go to space first. And the US, they put the first man on the moon, except that I think it was men. It was multiple.
It was Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong.
Yeah.
But the USS Hornet is actually the first surface that Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, and Michael Collins, the crew of the Apollo 11 mission, actually set foot on. Here's an image of that when they first got back.
Oh.
That's here on the USS Hornet, where we're standing currently right now.
Wow.
And where we are right now is where the capsule, where that helicopter was when they stepped off. But this is an example of the Apollo capsule. Look at the interior here. Can you imagine being in there for about 2 weeks or more?
No, it's very claustrophobic.
Hey, come on, we'll put a gaming rig in there. We'll get some cameras. You can VTube in there. It's fine. It's cool. It's cool. It's fine.
Okay, with a gaming rig, I think I'd be fine, actually.
Oh, see, there you go. See, totally fine, totally normal. But when they stepped off here, and we're gonna walk the exact steps that they walked.
Wow.
Yeah. But they went directly into quarantine.
Oh.
Into this big tin can right here. Now, why did they do that? Well,
Space
they
viruses.
didn't know. Well, exactly. They didn't know that space cootie. But they had to isolate them for about 2 weeks or more because they didn't know what the effects of space would have on man, especially coming back. So they didn't want to bring any pathogens. Space is definitely a lot cleaner than the Earth. So, going to tell you this, it was a little overkill, but they weren't sure. So that's kind of Hornet's history with the Apollo program. We did recover the astronauts. As Bruce said, he was here when they recovered the astronauts. So he got to witness history firsthand.
Wow. That is very
Are there any
cool. Oh
questions?
my gosh. Yes, someone asked, what's your favorite jet on the USS Hornet?
Ooh, that's a good one. We're actually going to take a look at my favorite jet here. She's actually in restoration, but my favorite jet is the F4 Phantom II that we have aboard.
Ah, we're seeing it right now.
It's in the restoration shop. We'll go take a look at her.
Very cool.
But here's a great part of the museum before I like to get. So this is actually a mural that was painted by a docent. Who is unfortunately not with us anymore. But they painted all the aircraft of Hornet's history, both CV8 and CV12.
Oh. I like the thick one, the buoy one. It's my favorite.
Which one?
The buoy one. The water pressure buoy recon, yes. That one. No, the one. Yes, buoy one.
So she likes the S2 tracker, folks.
Yeah.
But you're probably wondering, what about this aircraft? Well, that's a B-25 bomber. What's a B-25 doing on a Hornet? Well, if you know your World War II history, you know that Hornet CV8, the Hornet beforehand, is actually responsible for the Doolittle raid. What's the Doolittle raid? Well, World War II, not after World War II, on the onset, after Pearl Harbor, America was down and out of the fight. You know, we had just got attacked by Japan. Half our Navy was sunk. So there was a plan by a guy named Jimmy Doolittle, who devised the plan and the ability to basically take B-25 bombers by stripping them down to the bare minimum components to be able to bomb Japan in the home islands. So, well, not home islands, in Japan, in Tokyo. So they bombed Japan, Imperial Japan at the time, which had never been done in their 1,000-year history. So the B-25 bombers launched off the deck of an aircraft carrier. That wasn't predicted to happen. That's not what they're designed to do. But Jimmy Doolittle, through ingenuity and sheer will of human ability, found a way to make it happen.
Oh. Wow.
My boss wants my key to my office. Why do you want my key? All right. Get no respect at all around here. That's why I tell you what. They tell me to go to a bridge club. I jump next Tuesday. Get no respect at all around here.
Anyway. It's okay. You just need to flatter your boss more on the stream. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
I'm not gonna kiss up Miss Irie. Come on. I'm a alpha gamer. Okay, I'm an alpha gamer. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, boss. You heard that? I'm sorry. Don't hurt me. Anyway, like, this is the flight simulator that doesn't work. Anyways,
Yay! Flight simulator doesn't work. Yay!
one day it will. One day it will. We're probably wondering where we're at. So this is Hangar Bay 3. This is where we have a lot of events. Matter of fact, if we're going to talk about Carrier Con, this is actually where I'm standing right now is where our main stage is going to be.
Yay!
Well, right now we actually have a dance floor because we actually have a lot of events here at the Hornet. We have a lot of swing dances. We have raves. We have all sorts of different kind of events here aboard the ship. But the main stage is going to be right over here, and this is where you're actually going to be able to see Miss Irie, which we'll let a little spoiler because it's going out tomorrow, where you get to see her perform. Well, not her. Well, not the detail. Never mind. I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna spoil it.
Okay.
I won't spoil it. I'll let you talk about it. I won't spoil it. But you will get to see Miss Irie here at the USS Hornet live on stage. So it's gonna be a great experience.
Yay! Irie on stage. I'll be hosting the rave, guys. I'll be hosting the swing dance rave flight simulator.
That's a pretty interesting combination, Miss Irie.
Yeah. Patented.
What's this aircraft here? Well, this is the Seahorse. This is actually used by the Marine Corps as a transport helicopter, but it also was used for search and rescue as well. So notice how big the nose is. The big nose.
Big nose, big snout.
That's because its motor was put in here.
Oh.
The motor had different components that went up to the rotary blades up there and able to spin around and around. Any questions on that?
Any questions on that? Can we get married on the Hornet? Does the Hornet do weddings? Is one question I got.
This is the second time. This actually happened last stream. Somebody asked me this question. Yes, you can get married on the USS Hornet. Why you would want to? Because you would smell like gunmetal and paint.
I think that's very romantic. I think that's
it's very
romantic
very
as can
demure.
be.
Very demure. What girl wouldn't want to get married on a 30-ton warship?
Yeah, you can get married in front of the red snout airplane.
Tell you what, all you VTuber fans, you can marry your OC on the ship on Carrier Con. Come do it, please. We got. As a matter of fact, I got a marriage license. I'll marry you to your iPad.
Oh my gosh, so good.
I'm kidding, but this is actually my favorite aircraft. This is the F4 Phantom II. When I first came aboard here in the ship, this was a couple years back, about 4 years back. This was in horrible condition. It was on the flight deck. It was beaten up. It had erosion. But through the efforts of our volunteers for the past 4 years, look at the condition she's in. And she's not even done yet.
Oh. Wow.
So we're very excited. Matter of fact, I have there's this VTuber who actually is the F4 Phantom. So she's pretty cool if she's watching right now. Don't hurt me. But so yeah, I like the F4 Phantom. This does not mean I have a favorite. This just means that I like the aircraft.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I might have to make my favorite Josie 62. She's being pretty nice.
Okay, so Josie 62's in chat. Hey, Miss Irie, can I go on a little bit of a tangent? Can I have a moment? Have a tangent.
Yeah, you can have a moment or two.
So, what do you know about Sonic, Miss Irie?
Sonic, the blue hedgehog?
Okay, right, but who's the better hedgehog? He's black and red.
Definitely. Wait, I was gonna say Tails. Tails is not a hedgehog.
Tails the fuck. Miss Irie, come on, gotta know your lore. I'm talking about the best character in Sonic lore and all the games. And matter of fact, was in the new movie. We're talking Shadow the Hedgehog here.
Oh.
Well, I'm going to tell you this right now. Josie's a bit of a tsundere because for months and months and months after she debuted, she said, I don't love Shadow. I like Sonic. And I said, listen, you're lying to yourself. You need to be honest with yourself. I just wanted her to be her true self. Like, in Persona, show me your true form. But she finally admitted, and it's on YouTube, and all you folks who don't watch V-Fleet, you can go watch it on YouTube, that she admitted she is a Shadow the Hedgehog simp. And it was the most glorious day of my life. Anyways, continuing with the tour.
What is Amy? Is Amy a hedgehog? I think she's a hedgehog. I like
She
hedgehog.
is indeed a hedgehog.
Let's go! 1 out of 2, I got it right.
I am going to be in such trouble when I get off this call.
Oh no, oh
I'm
no.
going to be in trouble, Miss Irie.
Exposing your own talent live on stream, not a good look, not a
I'm
good
not
look, ladies and
exposing.
gentlemen.
I'm supporting her. I'm supporting her. I'm just helping her come to terms with who she is.
Wonderful.
Isn't that what a good manager does? You help them come to terms. You want them to be their true selves. That's pretty Rizzler.
I don't know, Josie. What do you think? Did cancel him? Yes or no? Thumbs up, thumbs down, like a Roman emperor.
Oh my gosh, Josie, get out of the stream.
Josie said his last
Josie,
tour.
you're at
Thumbs
work
up.
right now. Go to work. Matter of fact, I'm doing my job right now. Why are you harassing me when I'm at work? Oh. Listen, kids, if you become a VTuber dad, just accept that that's what's going to happen. That's part of being a girl dad. You're going to be the butt of many jokes.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So, we're going to get to the last part of the tour here, but I'm going to tell you this right now. This is the most important part of the tour, Miss Irie.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready.
This is the most critical part of the tour.
Where is the ghost? Where are they? Show them to me.
Oh, you do? Oh, right. You want to see the ghost. Well, we'll go look at the ghost too. But this is the most important, critical, most historically accurate. It's not very historically accurate. See, and you got my crew members just passed by mocking me.
Oh. Also, someone briefly asked, how is Hornet associated with V-Fleet?
Uh-huh.
How's Hornet associated with V-Fleet? V-Fleet. Your
Well,
V-Fleet.
I work here, but you know, V-Fleet is an organization that's made to support and encourage engagement and awareness with museum ships like the Hornet, not just the USS Hornet, but all around the world. So this is Josie. She represents the battleship New Jersey, and Lexi. She represents USS Lexington, Hornet's sister ship. And what we try to do is encourage viewers to not, subscribe and all that stuff. We want, obviously follow our talent. We love the support you guys give them, but we want you guys to go support places like the Hornet, because I'll tell you this, Miss Irie. In 2020, the Hornet was not in a good situation. Could have went to scrap, but it was through GoFundMe's and a lot of fundraising efforts that we were able to keep the lights on during the pandemic. But imagine the support that the VTuber community could have given to places like the Hornet, because it does more than just military. It's a science area. It's a place to inspire future STEM creators and kids. We have a lot of youth programs, and it's really cool what we do for the community. So my hope is that V-Fleet does a service to these museums that they have done for us, and that we can encourage you, VTuber fans, to be able to support places like this. Because guys like Bruce, they know the history, they love the history, but they won't be around forever. So it's on us, the next generation, to keep that going.
That is very cool. I 100% support that mission. If you want to talk about you guys have got a fundraiser going on right now, right?
Yes. So we actually had, CarrierCon this year is actually focusing on a fundraiser. We're restoring our ship's theater. I would show you it, but I don't have the key, unfortunately. But we're actually wanting to restore the ship's theater to be able to be a STEM classroom for our overnight programs with kids, but also to be able to do more events of stuff with VTubers, maybe for CarrierCon next year. But we need to raise the money for that, because it's very, very needs a lot of work, needs to be safe for people, but we can only do that with your support. So you can actually donate on the Hornets page. There's a special page for that. But also your ticket to CarrierCon this year does go towards that fundraiser. So we are very grateful for the support you are willing to give.
That is very cool. All right, one moment. Let me get the fundraiser page link in chat.
All right, sorry, but we're most important. I was talking about this. This is the most important part of the stream, okay?
Yeah. Okay, most important part is...
Are you locked in?
I'm locked in. I'm so locked in.
Are you sure?
I am very sure. I'm so locked in.
Okay. This is
it's an escalator. Why would they have an escalator in a ship? That's crazy.
Escalator. I like the escalator, Squidward.
What? Why would that? Huh? I did not expect an escalator on a
It's
on a
not
ship.
here. What do you think? We
Oh
have
my
stairs
gosh.
everywhere? Lots of stairs everywhere.
I was expecting, like, I don't know, elevators would have been more likely in my mind than the escalator.
Well, we do have an escalator. It's the pilots would use it. It actually was put in the 1950s. But where are we at right now?
Deck.
We're on the flight deck.
Yay, deck. Very
It's a
cool.
nice, good view.
Wow. Nice day outside. Good sun.
Ron, I'm doing a virtual tour right now. Guys at home, I want you to meet Ron. He's a docent here in the Hornet. Introduce yourself, what you did in the Navy.
Hi, Ron. I'm Ron. No, I didn't. I wasn't in the Navy,
I
but
thought
I
you
can
were.
answer any questions that you have.
Matter of fact, does anybody have any questions for Ron?
Does
Very
anyone have any questions for Ron? Please ask questions for Ron quickly, quickly. Ron, my question is, what did you do here? What brought you here?
What do you do here, Ron?
What do I do here? Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Sure, take my-
I'm a docent and I lead tours. I sometimes have school groups. Is this a school group we are talking to?
I mean, they kind of act like children, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like to take kids around. Kids are interested in lots of things that adults usually aren't interested in. They're interested in the galley. They're interested in the bakery, especially because the bakery ovens look just like pizza ovens, and that's all they think about. They love the jail. For some reason, there's a big attraction in the jail. Any? Oh, did they?
Yeah, that was one of the first questions she asked me. Is about the brig.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's true.
We have everything that you have in a school. We have anything that you have in any city. We have a restaurant. We have a church. We have a library. We have a theater. We have a gymnasium. Just about anything that you have in the city, we've got it right here on the ship. There's only one thing we don't have. We don't have a cemetery, but we do have burials at sea from time to time. So I guess that's kind of like a cemetery.
Close enough. Oh,
Any
I
other
want to know.
question?
What's his favorite? What's Ron's favorite part of the ship?
Favorite place? You know, the ship
Yeah.
is said to be haunted, and all the people want to see where the ghosts live.
They want to see where the ghosts live. They were
I want to see where
Yeah,
the ghosts live. Yeah.
asking, you know about that.
and the forecastle, yes. Actually, the side of the ship that rubs against the pier is where we get the most noise, because the inside of the ship we have voids, which are big hollow tanks, and when the ship rubs against a tank, it makes some awful noises. Sometimes kids spend the night on the ship and they wake up with these awful noises. All it is the tide coming in, but it has uh, people have the idea that there's ghosts making all of that noise. It really makes it an interesting evening. Any other
Wow.
ideas? Any questions?
Interesting.
Okay.
Someone's asking for your best ship story. What's your best story on the USS Hornet?
Oh, I don't have any best stories. No, that's a real tough question for me. No, I can't think of anything offhand. But if you
That's
give me a
alright.
topic, I can talk about it.
Kind of put you on the spot there. That's alright. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thanks, Miss Irie.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you, Ron.
All right. Thank you.
Hey, tell Bill to come out here. I want him to meet Bill.
Yeah, so we're a school group, huh? We're a school group, are we now?
I don't know, Miss Irie. That's you guys are saying skibbity, you're saying Rizzler, you're saying all these words. I just don't know what they mean. So I think you guys are kind of Gen Alpha. You're Gen Alphaing.
Alpha? No, I'm Gen Z. I'm Gen Z.
I don't know, Miss Irie. I don't know about that.
I just turned
know about that.
21.
21, 21, 1, 1, 1, 21. All right, Bill not coming out.
Bill's a busy man.
I would like to interview you, sir. Can I not interview the Captain
Interview.
Bill Nelson? Folks, I want you to meet Captain Bill Nelson here aboard the USS Hornet. Bill, want to introduce yourself to folks at home?
Hi there. My name's Bill Nelson. I'm a retired captain in the Naval Reserve, a former aviator, flew off carriers back in the mid-50s. Spent a lot of time at Alameda Naval Air Station, and I've been a docent here since 2014. I want to add 100 years there.
That is so
Bill's a naval
cool.
aviator. If you have any questions for him specifically about naval aviation, he's your guy.
Does anyone have any questions for Bill? Questions for Bill, please ask now. I will ask Bill. What is your favorite part about working here on the ship?
Well, I enjoy explaining naval aviation to people that don't know anything about it. And we have a great prop here to do that.
Wow, very cool. So a lot of people are saying thank you for your service, and also someone's asking, what's your longest flight been?
The longest flight I've been on?
Mhm.
Well, I flew jets, and we had a limited amount of fuel until later in the 50s. We got air-to-air refueling, and probably the longest I flew in a military aircraft was about 8 hours, and that's with
Oh,
refueling.
I see. Also, someone's asking, is there any crazy stories during your service you have to share with us?
Well, the craziest thing that happened to me was a guy ran into me at 20,000 feet right over the edge of the island of Guam, and I had to eject. And when I landed in the water, the winds were very high, and so I got dragged underwater and came very close to drowning. I could see the edge of the water, the surface of the water, and very close to me, but I was about ready to breathe water, and I got a buckle loose in my parachute and flipped on my back. And from then on, it was just a matter of getting my life raft out and waiting for a helicopter.
Oh,
But it was
wow.
an
Oh my
exciting time.
gosh. That's intense. Someone's also asking, what part of naval aviation do you find the most interesting?
Well, I'm a both fighter and attack pilot, and for me, that's the most interesting. And then, of course, that's carrier aviation. Now, we have all kinds of other things in the Navy. We have helicopters, anti-submarine patrol, transports, about anything you can think of. But the part I'm busy with is carrier aviation, and the part I find the most interesting.
Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. That was very interesting.
You're very welcome.
People are saying he should have a podcast. You guys at the museum should look into that. Please get Bill his own podcast.
Well, there is one that I did. I don't even remember what it was about, but it was done here on the ship. And it was when we first started this stuff.
But if you guys,
I'll find it and see what it's about.
if you guys want to
Yay.
meet Bill, you can always come to here at the USS Hornet here in Alameda, California. He's always glad to give you guys a tour, and we appreciate any support you're willing to give the ship.
Yeah, you guys should definitely come and go see Bill. Yeah.
You'll be welcome.
All right, well, we're going to continue on with
Thank
the flight deck.
you.
But thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And go Bears.
Go Bears.
Go Bears.
We both went to the same university, so no matter what the generation is, it's go Bears.
Go Bears.
All right, but where we're at right now, well, we are above the hangar deck. We are on the flight deck. This is where air operations take place, where takeoffs and landings occur. Now, as far as I know, I can only go so far before the connection cuts out. So I'm
Yep.
going to talk about how aircraft are launched. We've talked a little bit about how aircraft land. We talked a little bit about how they take off, but you don't understand how they do that just yet. You haven't seen it. And this is my favorite part, because when I first came aboard here on the Hornet, I was a docent, and this was my favorite part to show kids and families and show them how aircraft are launched. Well, so welcome to my world. This is the bridle system. This shuttle shoots down at over 100 miles per hour, all the way down the length of the front half of the deck. So look at that. Now, why do we
Oh.
call it a bridle system? What is a bridle? Well, bridles are what you put on horses on their mouths to control them, right?
Mm.
You have the bridle system here. This system hooks up to an aircraft, and this is during the Korean War that you would see this system. There's a more advanced system we'll go take a look at. But this bridle system will hook up to the aircraft. We talked about the torsion bar. Remember, we talked about the torsion bar. This is the holdback cable.
Mm-hmm.
You remember we talked about the torsion bar, how it hooks in, and there's a specific bar for a specific aircraft. Well, this is what it hooks into.
Well.
Aircraft's here, going full power, hooked up, tension, and when the shooter, guy in a green shirt, shoots them forward, zoom, pulls the
Ah.
aircraft down there, and as the aircraft's running, and catches up to speed and starts to exceed the speed of the bridle, falls forward, and they drag it back.
Oh.
But the modern, more modern system is over here. Sorry, we talked about how the Navy wanted a more recyclable way of having torsion bars. Well,
Yeah.
this is the bridle.
Oh no. Oh god. We're stuttering. Internet gone.
Connection here?
Connection.
Oh no, we're losing
video. Oh, okay. We're back, but
Am I
it's
back?
pixelated. It's pixelated.
Oh no, I'm pixelated. Oh no, this is censored. This is the censored part
Okay,
of the
we're
tour.
fine here. We're fine here.
You can't see it. This is the pixelated part. This is censored. I'm holding someone's hand. Don't look, guys. Don't look.
Well, they can see you again now.
Oh, okay. Well, fine. We'll go over here then and we'll look at that. But what we were trying to show was the more modern system for launching aircraft.
Someone's asking, what's the typical takeoff speed?
That varies from aircraft to aircraft, but definitely it's over 100 miles per hour.
Mm-hmm.
Some aircraft need more power. Some aircraft need less. There's no one takeoff speed, but different aircraft, especially in the load and the weight of the aircraft, has to be adjusted, and they have to communicate down the hydraulic room how much power is needed to launch that aircraft.
Oh.
So here we talked about the arresting gear. Remember that big thick bar I told you about, Miss Irie? This is it.
Yeah.
See, here's the tail hook, and here's how it hooks in. So we have this up here because we want to explain to people how aircraft catch and land. Hooks into here in that little crevice. We already talked about it, but now you can see how that looks, and you notice how flexible this is. But this hooks into two of those hydraulic cables that help to act as a rubber band to catch the aircraft. Now, you're probably wondering what happens if a plane can't drop its arresting gear cable. Well, Mr. Cameraman, come in here. Look, this is the emergency barricade for catching aircraft. So, looks like a tennis net, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is used to catch the aircraft in case of emergency. It catches them, takes the tension out because object in motion wants to stay in motion. Physics catches it. It's like running into a tennis net if you've ever done that. That big red and yellow pylon right there is where they would run the net across. So they would put a net on there and they'd run across the length of the flight deck to be able to catch that aircraft.
Oh.
Are there any questions on that?
Any questions on that, ladies and gentlemen? Well, people are criticizing you for mentioning hand holding. They're saying it's very inappropriate for a school tour. How could you?
I'm sorry to the school of Irie. I'm sorry. What's the YouTuber apology? Here, let me do a YouTube apology. Yeah, I'm most critical over here, and I'm just gonna say I'm kind of sorry for what I've done. My name is Charlie, and I do things, and I'm Charlie, and yeah.
Wow, it's not a true YouTuber apology unless you got a ukulele. Someone's asking, did any civilian airplanes ever land on the carrier?
I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I wish you would forgive me. Please subscribe to my channel, like and subscribe, and please share. What was the question?
So okay, the the question I read out was, did any civilian airplanes ever land on the carrier?
Not to my knowledge, because they shouldn't even be in the vicinity of the carrier. Otherwise, if there was a bandit or an unidentified aircraft, which usually
Mhm.
is bogey, they would send aircraft out to meet that aircraft and they would keep it away from the carrier because, again, these areas are top secret and secure. The military is not big on civilians getting near their aircraft carriers.
Yeah, I'd assume about as much. Someone else is asking, how quickly does the net stop an aircraft compared to the arresting wire?
The arresting gear cable gets it done in less than a second, but the net takes a little bit more than that, but they're around the same because, again, it's the same function of like a big rubber band catching that aircraft and taking using physics, taking out its force to be able to stop it. So I would say about 3 seconds.
I see, I see. Alright, that is all the questions we had for that segment. We're going
Before we
back
go
on
back
the
down,
escalator.
before we go back down, I'll talk about these real quick. You
Oh,
see, these are like Skittles. Love the rainbow, taste the rainbow, right?
uh-huh.
If they have Skittles in Germany.
We do.
But good. Taste the rainbow. But nobody is to be on the flight deck unless they have one of these jerseys. Everybody here has a job specifically. You have the fuelers, the purple shirts. They are responsible for fueling the aircraft. You never fuel an aircraft on the hangar deck. You do it on the flight deck. That is for safety because if there's a fire, it can be controlled up here. In the hangar deck, not so much.
Mhm.
You have the plane handlers. The plane handlers, these are the movers. They move the aircraft. They get it up and down from the hangar deck, get them in position to where they can be launched and move them away from when they're landed. These are the movers. Green shirts, they're your general guys. They can handle cargo. They can do air maintenance. They shoot the aircraft. They hit the button on the control panel to shoot them when they get the signal. They get the signal from the officers, which are the shooters. The shooters have the yellow shirt. They do that cool thing in the movies or whatever you see in media when they do that to launch the aircraft. These are the shooters.
Oh.
Red means dead. These are the munitions guys. These guys put on bombs and they load them
Oh.
onto the aircraft when they're on the flight deck, not on the hangar deck. You know why?
Uh-huh.
Safety. So
Yeah.
they do it here. These are the plane captains. Plane captains own the aircraft. So, contrary to popular belief, if you watch Top Gun, pilots don't own their aircraft. These guys do. They're responsible for it. They're responsible for its maintenance, and they basically loan it out to the pilot. And then you have the white shirts. These are the medical crew. In case of emergency or you need to evacuate somebody, these guys are your guys who have medical training.
Ah, okay. I choose a white shirt as my Hogwarts house.
Aw, you're sweet. Look at that.
I did a first aid training like yesterday. I'm super prepared.
See, there you go. You one day of first aid training and you're straight up a doctor.
It's true. I can do all the organ that stuff. Yeah.
All the organ transplants.
It's anything involving organs. I'm your guy.
So, Miss Irie, will you give me a heart transplant, please?
Why did I steal your heart?
Oh no! Sorry, Miss Irie. I already have a waifu. It's actually
Alright.
it's my body pillow of the USS Hornet. It has anime eyes on it, like literally the actual aircraft carrier with anime eyes on it.
I would have just put googly eyes on it.
It literally is googly eyes. I took the little glue. I took the little glue you use in kindergarten. I put it on there, smack some googly eyes, and hey, there you go. See, top tier waifu material, right?
That is unfathomably based, as we say, very based.
We're pretty based here at the
Based waifu.
Hornet. And I got my keys back.
Yay! Oh my gosh. It's Rudolph. Hello, Rudolph.
Okay, so that is the tour, Miss Irie. Hope you had a great time. I hope I didn't give you too much brain rot. But I will open this up for questions right now, a little last minute here. But man, that was a lot of fun. I hope you had.
I had a most wonderful time. Now, please, sir, in our final moments, tell me something about the ghosts or the lack thereof.
Okay, we said we'd show you the ghost, but I'm worried about us losing connection. So I'll tell you this. Okay, so
Uh-huh.
there are multiple ghosts here on the ship.
Uh-huh.
My experience with a ghost here. So when I first came aboard, it was about a few years back. We would have water in the staff area down below deck. So, but there's multiple decks down below, about 18 of them. Now,
Oh.
below the deck where our staff area was, we had a freezer. So since I was big and strong, I would commonly get told, "Hey, Gabe, we need you to go get some water and bring it up to the ship store." Well, I went down there one time
Mm-hmm.
and I was by myself. This is when I was new on the ship. I didn't know my way around, so I almost got lost. Found the water, couldn't find my way back. So I'm walking around the decks aimlessly. I can't find my way or a ladder that leads there. And then I start hearing like a clawing goes ching, 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 ching. And I thought someone was down there. So I said, "Hey, who's here?" I look around, no one's there. All I have is my phone flashlight that's on top of the water that I'm holding. Then I hear, "Help, help me, help me." And I was like, "Is someone hurt?" And then they said, "Gabe." So I rush over there, I put the water down, I check. And it's silence.
Oh.
So I walk over there and I turn the corner
Uh-huh.
and nothing's there. But then I turn around and I see the Costco guy going,
That's crazy. Oh my god. Not the Costco guy.
but in all seriousness, I did have experience like that. It gets kind of eerie down below deck. So if you are here at the Hornet, we do have ghost tours. You can have your own experience for yourself. But I do recommend if you are here past midnight, make sure you have all your charms and whatnot because you do not want to anger the spirits.
Oh, I bring my salt and then I make a circle.
Take the salt. A little salty.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh. Well, the Hornet's not still sailing. It's a museum now, I assume.
Yes, we are not moving.
Yeah. Also, people asking, so we can book the Hornet to stay overnight too?
You actually can. So actually, a cool thing with CarrierCon is if you want a place to stay for CarrierCon, you can actually book an overnight experience here. You can stay in the ship the night of CarrierCon.
Oh wow,
And who
that is
knows?
super cool.
And who knows? It might be more optimal because there's something happening after CarrierCon you might want to participate in. I don't know.
Ah, okay. That is big news for anyone who plans on going to CarrierCon to see V-Dere. You can stay in the boat. You can stay in the ship. That is very cool. That is very cool. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Any more
I think
questions, Miss Irie?
aside from that, not any questions. But thank you so much. It was a great tour.
Well,
Yeah.
my pleasure, Miss Irie, and thank you so much for joining us for CarrierCon. I appreciate all the support you ladies have given us. It's on behalf of the Hornet crew, we are appreciative of that. It's about connecting the next generation with this amazing history because we want the Hornet to be around for many, many years. So it's support from viewers like you and talent such as you that help keep us around.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, can't wait to be at CarrierCon in March.
All right, Miss Irie, I will catch you then and see you in March. So from me, from the USS Hornet, bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Alright, oh my god, that was so fun. I actually had a great time. Oh my god, that was really fun. Also, thank you to the V-Fleet talents who stopped by. Arigato. Wow, oh my gosh, was that not fun? I have to say, I'm actually the kind of person who loves museums. I don't like art galleries, but I love museums very much. As you can probably imagine, we have a lot of museums in Germany. Yeah, oh my gosh. I definitely, if I can in the future, I'd want to go in person. Yeah, I'd want to go in person. It was a great stream, I'm glad. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It was a very fun time. And as I said before, V-Dere is gonna be taking part in the Carrier Con. That is happening in March, and as you heard now, you can also stay on the ship for the con duration, which I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that was a thing. But that is very cool. That is super cool. And maybe if you stay, you definitely have to tell me about the ghost. The ghosts multiple. Tell me if you see any ghosts. Hi, this is the third time I've seen this tour and it's still interesting. Oh wow, well this was my first time, except for the occasional times I've looked into Spica's or Alpha's stream. German museum tour next, so I don't know if any of them offer VTuber tours. That's a relatively new concept. That is a relatively new concept. Hi. I don't think they do it. Yeah, but I hope you're looking forward to it. Also, Ivy will be she'll be on the stage during the concert, the con, yes, con. Yeah. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I thought it was very, very interesting. And I personally thought that we lucked out with the interviews we got today. I don't know, did the others get such cool interviews? I thought we got pretty cool interviews. Yeah. Did Alpha and Spica get the cool interviews, or was it just me who got lucky? Yeah, paintball wars on the deck. Well, let's not do that. They'll have to clean the paint. Oh. We've had some interesting interviews, yeah. Yeah, I thought it was very cool. There was definitely not many on the last ones. We had a lot this time. Yes! Lucky! Score! Hi! Alright. As you saw on my schedule, Adi is not streaming tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. That is mainly due to the fact that I am dead. I am currently deceased. I am not here. I'm actually dead. Because I spent all night yesterday working on a presentation. I didn't finish it, and then I woke up today and I went to university, and as soon as I came home I worked on the presentation again. And while I was in class, I was doing an assignment for another class. And at the end of today, I just kind of crashed and I just dropped 2 of my courses because I was like, I'm not doing the homework for that. Pre-recorded live tour? No, it was not pre-recorded. It was actually live. As in, like, they had the tour guide, obviously, and they had a camera guy walking around, and it was live. So, like, they were, like, streaming it to me on Discord. So, yeah. But you're deceased? Well, bold of you to assume that the remnants of my soul are not coming back from the astral plane to do this tour. Yeah, bold of you to assume. I am astral projecting, it's true. Yeah, yeah, so I oh my gosh, I cannot take it anymore. I dropped 2 of my classes, but on Thursday I have to hold a presentation that's worth 30% of my total grade, so I'm not too happy about that, considering I haven't started on it yet. So that's the main reason that I'm taking the next 2 days off. But however, we'll definitely see each other on Thursday. What am I doing on Thursday? What am I doing on Thursday? I'm doing Jutsu on Thursday. And, you know, I might turn into a gorilla. I may turn into a gorilla depending on how soon my work on that presentation goes. So please watch out for a wild gorilla on the loose. I will try to stick to my usual streaming time for any gorilla. But I make no promises. Yeah. Yeah. First the fish, now gorilla. It's true, I'm very versatile. Hope you don't have any consequences for dropping the classes. No, it's fine. I was overloading this semester anyways. I wasn't supposed to have that many. ID Rilla, yes. ね, I will gorilla. I'll gorilla. Adi can revive herself with a donut, so Donathon will revive her. No, that's not true. It's factually incorrect. Donut is not a revival item. It is only an HP recovery item. Yeah. But definitely see each other on Thursday. Maybe gorilla today or tomorrow. We'll see. Thank you so much for coming by, everyone. And I will see you.
Thank you so much.
Definitely, most definitely. Wait, actually. ちょっと待って. I did not see any, okay, there was no donations. Alright, I was worried. I was like, wait, I didn't have that open. Oh my god. Okay, it should be fine, I know, thank you, Citrian. Happy 21 months. Thanks for being the best devil. And all smiles and laughs has brought me the past 220... I can't read. Past 21 months as a member. Arigato! Happy 21. Have I mentioned that I drank glow stick liquid as a child? I feel like, you know, I feel like we could benefit from a reminder here. Anyway, thank you so much for coming by, everyone. Aristeru? Papa. Mwah. Ahoy!